Kyrie Irving is back. His return to the Brooklyn Nets, it's official. He started in a game against the Memphis Grizzlies last night, and it's over. Suspension over, he's met all the requirements, and set in stone by the owner of the Brooklyn Nets, Joe Tsai. Here's a statement that was released, or a video clip that was released by Kyrie Irving to SNY, a sports affiliate out of New York.
Initially, why you chose not to unequivocally kind of denounce the anti-Jewish material in the film and to state plainly that you are not anti-Semitic. What was the thought process there in those initial press conferences to not do that?
Yeah, well, I'm grateful you asked that because I could only speak to my experience of growing up in West Orange, New Jersey, in Jersey in general, New York. It is a melting pot full of different religious backgrounds, races, and cultures. And I grew up around Jewish people. I grew up around, different white people that identify as their own heritage. And I've identified as my own heritage. And, within all that as a kid, I really picked up early on that we are really legitimately one human race. And it is our job as human beings to protect one another. And I felt like I was protecting the truth initially, after the post came out and the press conference happened. I felt like I was protecting the truth. But all in all, I felt like I was protecting my character. And I reacted out of, just pure defense and just hurt that I could be labeled, or I thought that I was being labeled as anti-Semitic or anti-Jewish. And I felt like that was just so disrespectful to ask me whether or not I was anti-Semitic or not. Now, to the outside world, it may have been seen as a simple yes or no, which rightfully so, it should have been, no, I'm not anti-Semitic. No, I'm not anti-Jewish. I am a person that believes that we all should have equal opportunities and that we should all shower each other with love. And that should be at the forefront. But it wasn't in that initial conversation. And I take my accountability, and I want to apologize for that because it came off the wrong way completely. What I was really getting at was, how can I be anti-Semitic if I know where I come from? That statement itself was just referring back to my childhood and all the relatives and friends that I have made and that I will continue to get to know on a deeper level. They're Jewish. Some of them are Jewish. Some of them are not Jewish. But I felt like that didn't matter. And because I felt like it didn't matter in that moment, it came off the wrong way. So I'm glad that I could clean that up right now. It's, unfortunate that was taken the wrong way and taken out of context. But I really just wanted to focus on, how I can become better from that. Because, there were some statements that were used that I don't necessarily feel like are a true representation of me and what I stand for.
So this video with Ian Begley of the Sports New York was a very long video, about 20 minutes or so, and a number of questions are asked of Kyrie, and Kyrie responds. And basically, in a nutshell, because I can't play the whole video, Kyrie Irving seems to be a very thoughtful person. I don't think he's anti-Semitic. I stand where I stood before. I agree with him. I get the impression that Kyrie wants his career back. Kyrie does not want to walk away from it. He also wants to clear his name. People need to think about, all the people that support Kyrie also think about the fact he has a family at home. It's not his responsibility to change how America sees black people. I think he's already done a tremendous service to black people for standing up and being who he is. I think some people are kind of like transplanting how they feel about certain racial issues and putting it on Kyrie Irving's shoulders. It's also been a great opportunity, though I know it may not appear to be, to Kyrie in particular, that we get to see who our friends are. And we get to see who our friends are not. We get to see some shucking and jiving and some people throwing Kyrie Irving under the bus for whatever reason. And I'm glad that happened so we can see you. I support Kyrie Irving now. I supported him before. I've supported him throughout this because I never thought he was anti-Semitic. You didn't prove that he was. He hadn't done something that was anti-Semitic. I never felt sharing a movie, a link to a movie on Amazon, could make a person be a thing. Now, when I call out cops who shoot unarmed black men, they actually did something. They loaded a gun, or they pulled a gun and shot the gun and aimed the gun and killed someone. That's different. You can hit share on a video, and it doesn't encapsulate who you are. That's how I looked at it. But Kyrie Irving's going to get his career back. He should get his career back. And he also should get backpack. And as he stated in an interview after this, because he had a press availability after the game, and he said, my legal team's looking at some type of ramifications for being suspended without pay. So I hope he gets his money back, as he should. This has all been, I feel like, a scapegoat. I think people were upset with Kanye West, so that they went after Kyrie. And Dave Chappelle said it perfectly. Kanye was in so much trouble, Kyrie got in trouble. That's it. Great joke. Spot on. Nike, what up with those shoes? There are people that don't respect the fact that black Americans are major consumers in America. You may not think this, you may not believe it, but we do control we move a lot of terrain by boycotting. I think we should continue to not spend money with Nike, or not spend money with the NBA, or not spend money with whomever who doesn't spend money with us. And if you are withholding opportunities from brothers and sisters from the black community over bullshit like this, and yeah, I'm gonna call it bullshit. Okay? Because when I was 10 years old going door to door selling candles as a fundraiser for my school, and those trailer park white boys called me a nigger and get away from their doorstep, that was a clear indicator of how they felt about black people. They did not share a link to Amazon. They called me a nigger and said, get off my porch, nigger. Now that was very clear how they felt about me. And all of us. That is racism. I can't see Kyrie Irving giving up his position, his career, his life, on something he does not believe. He does not believe in anti-Semitism, nor is he anti-Semitic. I see no harm at all in him saying that. I still believe the NBA went at this completely unprofessionally. What they did here was uncalled for. The levels, the power, the media, the people that called him out, the people that threw him under the bus, all of this was totally unnecessary. Hope he gets compensated for it. But once again, we get to see behind the curtain how people really act and what really drives them. So that's a good thing, when you become aware of who your friends are and who they're not. So thank you for that, Kyrie Irving. I wish him the best. Hope he goes on to have a phenomenal year. Josiah, get your house in order. Mr. Owner of Alibaba, get your house in order, sir. The treatment of Kyrie Irving, the hoops, the publicizing of those hoops that you expected him to jump through, a little much. And that's coming from Jon Stewart, a white guy, a Jewish white guy. We don't get to sit home. I don't get to sit here in my little makeshift studio and tell another person how far they need to go down the road to somehow stand up for black people. Kyrie Irving stood up higher and stronger than most politicians. And damn sure a lot higher and stronger than most of the commentators were shitting on him the last couple of weeks. Okay? Because he was uncomfortable. He was in an uncomfortable position. He lost. He gave up things. He sacrificed to make those stances. What have they sacrificed? Nothing.